Hello, everyone. Welcome to class. My name is Caitlin. It's nice to meet you or nice to see you again, depending on if you've practiced with me or not. We are going to go ahead and get started on our 45-minute practice today. We're going to take our meditation in a seated position. If it's just not comfortable or it's more comfortable to be in a reclined position, go ahead and do so now. We will keep the knees pointed up to the sky, just so that we're keeping some activity in the body and not inviting a full relaxation just yet. So wherever you land, we will grow as tall as we can in the spine, reaching out from the tail through the crown, closing the eyes, starting to inhale through the nostrils. Exhaling out through the nose or mouth, whatever is most comfortable. Gentle reminder that you can bring any sort of comforting prop underneath the hips, maybe a pillow, folded blanket. You want to sit up on a block or a set of blocks and you have those available. That's a great option too. If the knees feel unsupported or precarious in a cross-legged position, you can bring blocks to the outside of the knees, in between the knee and the ground or your mat, to build the earth up to you a little bit, give you some additional support. As we continue to inhale through the nose, start to send the breath down into the belly. Start to notice or become aware, or even more aware and mindful of the body. Bringing your attention to first the breath, as it is our anchor, our life source. Maybe even a piece of your own spirit. Is the breath coming easy, natural, big, bountiful? Or is it strained, resistant, stuck? There's no right answer, or I guess the only right answer is the truth. We just observe, taking notice. If you haven't already, I would invite you to start spreading that awareness to the rest of the body, taking those questions to the shoulders, spine, the hips and ankles, even the wrists and fingers. How do you feel today? What does your body need today? When we create a space like we do during a meditation, we're able to actually hear those answers, giving room for those answers to be heard. Here for 2 more breath cycles. Big inhale, long exhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands still rest on the knees, or if you are laying down, maybe on the tops of the thighs or the belly. We drop the chin to the chest and start to roll the neck from side to side, sitting up nice and tall. As we do, pausing anywhere that feels really good or that's asking for some extra attention. Maybe you even lift one ear up and over the respective shoulder. So left ear over left shoulder. Chin drops back down to the chest as you roll it through. Right ear rolls right on top of the right shoulder. Maybe you start to incorporate the torso, the abdomen, taking the torso and abdomen in the opposite direction of the ear. Creating almost a C or the beginning of an S with the spine. Got a nice little rhythm going now. Maybe feeling some pops or releases happening in the spine. We're going to upgrade this movement. Keeping the eyes closed, we lift the chin back to center and then shift the belly over the top of the right thigh. Taking torso circles here, chest falls over the right knee before sweeping through center, that space between both the knees, until chest is over the left knee and we round through. Starting your circle over again. One more circle. Let's enter on the back side of the circle. So chin drop to chest, spine is rounded through, rounding the shoulders. And then we take it in the opposite direction. So belly button and chest first shift over to the left before sliding that chest through center. Belly button is right above the space between the legs. And we round right on through. Belly and chest over the left thigh before sweeping the chest through that space between the knees. Come over the right leg as we round through, taking it as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. I am moving in a really gentle way today. I feel like I haven't been the kindest to my body this week, so I want to be intentional and meticulous with my movements. Letting my body know I am paying attention to it. I am giving it my full attention. One more circle. The back side of your circle, gently lift back up through the spine, sitting up nice and tall. Maybe you look up, chin lifts as shoulders drop down away from the ears. Inhale, arms come up overhead, gaze stays where it's at until our fingers come right in line of our vision. Big inhale, exhale, palms flip towards the front of you as we bend at the hips. We're watching the space right between the thumbs as we start to float the hands down to the ground. Palms stay nice and wide. We still have our gaze in the space right between the thumb. Staying here with elbows straight, or on an exhale, we drop the elbows and forearms and start to drop the forehead, maybe even the crown towards the earth. Once we're here, we reach down towards the earth with the tail, reconnecting with the length of our spine, sending the breath into the belly so that we can really feel interaction in the low back. We're here for 3 more breath cycles. Really being mindful of our breath. Inhale, we start to walk the hands back using the strength in our arms, the heel of our palms until we're sitting up. Nice and tall. Inhale, both arms reach up overhead. Exhale, right hand drops to the outside of the left knee as left hand reaches behind us in space. Maybe if it's more comfortable, you bring just the right palm to the top of the left knee. And we sit up nice and tall. We're shifting the belly button over towards the left thigh. Exhale draws you back through center, and we inhale both arms up overhead. Maybe you look up, left hand drops to right knee, right hand drops behind us in space as we find our seated twist on the other side. Exhale, we release back to center. Left foot stays right where it's at, right heel or heel at the right glute or right in front of the right glute as we lift the right leg up and over the left. Right foot is on the outside of the left thigh. Toes of the right foot are pointing away from the front of the body. We hook the left elbow around the right knee and find a gentle twist, bringing the belly button towards the top of the right thigh. Bringing this twist down into the right glute. One more inhale. Exhale, we release the hands. We're going to bring the right knee on top of the left knee. You can do this from your seated position here by walking the right foot out towards the left side of the body, maybe bringing the left foot a little further away from the right glute, or you can shift forward slightly onto the hands to kind of shimmy and adjust the legs until both glutes are seated on the ground. Of course, just like any of our seated positions, you can bring a pillow or a folded blanket or a block up underneath the hips. We're really paying attention to our body now, sticking with our breath, deep inhales. Nothing that we do on the mat should feel like a punishment. So if this is highly uncomfortable, this feels torturous, back off, come back into the twist we were in before. Otherwise, we sit up nice and tall, fingertips on the ground in front of the legs. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you start to bow from the hips, belly and chin drapes towards the legs. Tempting to keep both glutes on the mat. Maybe you even walk the arms out in front of you. Maybe you again drop the forearms to the ground. Sending the breath down into the low back, the glutes, the hips, the groin even. Big inhale, feel that skin expand, feel the interaction with all the different pieces of the body. Exhale, we start to walk ourselves back up to a seated position. Know your body. This isn't for everyone, but listening to our body will benefit everyone. Gently we unravel, coming back to center as we take it to the other side. So right heel comes to the front of the left glute. Left leg lifts up and over the right, left foot on the outside of the right leg. We hook the right elbow, finding our twist. Belly button towards the top of the left thigh. And a gentle pull in that left knee towards the right shoulder. Excuse me. One more inhale. Exhale, we unravel the arms and torso back to center. Variation here is that you can leave the legs where they're at without the support of the arms. We're active in both feet, and we have this bigger space between the knees and a little off to the sides. We don't have this stacking motion that can put pressure on the groin and the hips if we're not very open in that area. So this is a nice alternative in addition to lifting up on a block or a blanket or a pillow, and we can fold forward this way. You can still in this position drape yourself a little further if you want to bring the forearms towards the earth. And we breathe deeply through the belly, or excuse me, through the nose down into the belly. One more. And your next inhale, we gently walk ourselves back up to a seated position. Both hands come over to the right side of the body. You can do this twisting motion, which we've done in previous classes. So if you have taken a class with me, maybe today is the day you try. Or if you want to just unravel the legs and swing them off to the side to meet us in tabletop, that's fine too. Otherwise, we're here. We bring pressure into the hands, so weight shifts into the hands. We press into the outside of both feet and let ourselves unravel. Ooh, yeah, you may feel a rush of energy coming to or leaving the hips. What a big epicenter of energy. So give yourself a moment to let that pass back through. We want to take a second for some ankle rotations. That's great. And we'll start here by dropping the hips back towards the heels and gently rocking them side to side. Maybe you curl the toes towards the mat, so we're incorporating some activity in the feet. Just gentle rocks side to side. And we rise back up to center. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Gaze us forward as we're pressing away from the mat. Exhale, round through, tucking the tail. Tailbone towards the belly button as we drop the crown, pressing away from the mat, really exaggerating the dome and the chest cavity. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, we round through. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, we round through. We shift our weight over into the left foot. Right leg shoots out long behind us. Maybe you keep the toes on the ground, or maybe you lift from the heel. Stay here, or maybe we reach left arm out in front of us. Just for 2 breaths. Bottom of your exhale, left hand drops, right leg reaches up and over the left as we grow heavy in the right heel and we turn over the left shoulder to look at our left or right foot. On your next inhale, we lift the right leg, it's coming back to center and going to continue out to the side of the body. Right leg comes out parallel to the mat and to the hip. We inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round through. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round through. Inhale brings you back to neutral spine as we again press the weight into the left foot. Right leg is coming back over the left side of the mat. Weight shifts into the left hand as we reach right hand up to the ceiling. Front body opens over to the right. Heavy in the right heel. Exhale, right hand floats towards the top of the mat. Big side body stretch. One more inhale. Exhale gently. We first let the right hand drop to the mat before bringing the right knee back in line, tabletop position. Let's sink the hips back onto the heels, taking a moment of rest. Just because we're in a moment of rest doesn't mean that we need to lose our breath. Continuing to inhale in through the nose and noticing how the breath interacts with the body. Inhale, we press into the top of the feet, coming back up to our tabletop position. Drop the belly, chest opens, gazes forward. Exhale, round through. Inhale to neutral tabletop position. Left leg comes out long. Maybe the toes stay curled against the mat, or maybe we lift from the heel. Right arm reaches out in front of us for 2 breaths. Pressing away from the mat, strong in the fingertips. Right hand drops back down to the mat as we lift that left leg up and over the right side of the mat. Heel grows heavy as we turn our gaze over the right shoulder towards the left foot. Exhale, we lift the left leg up and over until it becomes parallel with the mat, parallel with the body. When we inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, gazes forward. Exhale, round through. Inhale, gazes forward, drop the belly. Exhale, we round through, tail pulls to belly button. Inhale, neutral spine as left leg lifts up and over off the right side of the mat. We shift our weight into our right hand as we lift left up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left hand floats towards the top of the mat. Left bicep by left ear. We're long in the side body. Exhale, left hand drops down to the mat, and then we lift left back to meet the right. Big toes come together, knees as wide as the yoga mat as we sink the hips back onto the heels. Walking the hands out long, we surrender into child's pose. Excuse me. With the forehead on the mat, maybe you gently rock the forehead side to side. Bring a little pressure into the sinuses. Little third eye massage. Your next inhale, we press into the tops of the feet, curling the tail. We draw ourselves back up to table, pulling the knees underneath the hips, curl the toes. Exhale, hips lift up high, downward facing dog. One more inhale. Long exhale. Inhale, we start to curl the tail, rolling from the base of the spine. Shoulders start to round through as we shift our weight. Shoulders come above the wrists. We're in plank. Exhale, we lower down slowly, either full body or drop the knees first. Belly drops all the way down to the mat. Hands are right underneath the shoulders. Forehead kisses the earth. Inhale, we press into the hands. Elbows are tight to the side body as we rise up gently to cobra. Maybe you take a little baby cobra to start. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. We're pressing down firmly through the tops of the feet. Knees are engaged. Buttocks and glutes are loose. Inhale, cobra. Soft. Exhale, lower. Toes curl. Inhale presses you up to table or plank. Then hips up high, downward facing dog. Your next inhale, we're stepping right foot up to right thumb. We're in lunge, gazes forward, creating as much space as we can between the crown and the tail. We're heavy in the back heel. 1 more inhale. Exhale, we're dropping the back knee, letting the toes flip so the top of the foot is against the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, hands drop down to the mat in front of the foot, and we heel toe, gently, the right foot over to the left side of the mat, making our way into our one-legged sleeping pigeon. We drop the right knee behind the right wrist, and we start to walk the back foot behind us in space. Make your adjustments so that you're customizing this for your own body. So if you need to bring that right heel closer to the front of the left hip, that's fine. If you need to bring the right ankle closer to the left hand, also fine. I've given you the structure, so now it's time to customize. We sit up nice and tall. Taking a few breaths to send down into that right glute. Exhale, we start to crawl the hands away from the body, letting the belly drape over the left thigh. And we stack hand over hand, maybe fist over fist, or we drop the forehead all the way down to the earth. We let go of the shoulders. Let go of any gripping in the hip. See if we can relax the mind into this experience. One more breath. And your next inhale, we start to walk ourselves back up to our inverted position. We curl the toes of the back leg, lifting the back knee. We step the right foot back to meet the left and downward facing dog. Let's be here for 2 breath cycles. Inhale, left foot steps up to left thumb. Gaze comes forward. We're in our lunge. Long spine, crown to tail. One big inhale. Exhale, we drop the back knee, flip the back foot. Exhale, we drop the palms and start to heel toe the left foot over to the right side of the mat. Finding our placement on this side. And we'll walk the back leg behind us. Sitting up nice and tall. Just send a few breaths down into our hip, the glute, our huge energy storage in the body. If it feels best for you, if this feels right to stay in this inverted seated position, sending the breath down from here, that's fine. Otherwise, we start to drape the belly, chest, over the left thigh. Coming into a surrender. See if you can melt a little more into this experience. We're here for 2 more breath cycles. And your next inhale, we start to walk ourselves back up to an inverted position. Both palms come down to the mat. We curl the toes, the back leg, lift the back knee and hip to draw the left foot back to meet the right in downward facing dog. Be intentional with your breath here, releasing the low back, letting energy disperse from this huge space in our hips where we've just released it. And on your next exhale, we rise up onto the toes to gently lower the knees right underneath the hips. Ankles cross, and we're doing a reverse roll to come onto our bum. That is uncomfortable. You can, of course, just meet us in a seated position when you get there. We're going to bring arches together, heels together, toes together. I'm going to come at a slight angle here so that you can see me. Bound angle, cobbler's pose, the butterfly, whatever you want to call it. We're going to sit up nice and tall by either clasping the ankles, or maybe you interlace the fingers and wrap them around the toes. Sending the tail down into the earth. Sending the chest high like you're trying to reach it right over the feet. Shoulder blades are pinching together. Shoulders pressed down away from the ears. On your next exhale, bending from the hips, we're just going to shift the chest forward and gaze right out past the toes like you're looking out over a cliff. Exhale, we sit up nice and tall and release the fingers, gently guiding the knees back together before taking the feet hip width apart. Hands come behind us in space, fingers either pointed towards the body or fingertips pointing away from you towards the back. Either way, we're pinching the shoulder blades together. Trying to get the elbows and hands as close together as we can, opening the chest. And lifting from the chest so that we're lifting out of the low back. Knees are up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, we're dropping both knees over to the left. Ooh, got a little pop out of that one. Exhale, up through center, over to the right. Pausing extra wherever it feels good. Up and over to the left. We're just windshield wipering the knees from side to side. You may see or feel the space between the body and the hands growing larger. Over to the left until eventually it feels natural to start to drop the elbows coming down onto our backs. When you get there, knees reach up towards the chest. We interlace the fingers, gently pulling the legs towards the body. Belly's nice and heavy. Chest again is wide open. Shoulders are touching the mat on both sides. Even the external corners of the shoulders. Exhale, we gently release the left foot down to the mat and then send the left leg out long. Right knee pulls gently towards the right shoulder for an inhale. Exhale, we guide that right knee across the midline over to the left side of the mat. Recline twist. Trying to release, consciously release any gripping, pulling, tugging, holding anywhere in the body. One more inhale. Exhale helps guide us up through center. As we drop the sole of the right foot, left knee comes towards the chest, right leg sends out long towards the front of the mat. Exhale, we gently pull left knee to left shoulder. Exhale, we help guide that left knee across the midline over to the right side of the mat. Both shoulders stay pinned down to the mat. Exhale, draws you back through center. Left leg sends out long to meet the right. Maybe the hands come to the belly. Maybe one stays there and one moves to the heart space. Maybe both hands come together, thumbs right above the heart. Wherever you feel comfortable ending your practice, I'll meet you there. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank yourself for showing up. It is a difficult thing to do, sometimes the most difficult thing that we do, but you did it, and I'm proud of you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, rest of the week or weekend, and I hope to see you next time.